Greetings everyone, hey, hi, welcome to this reading. Capricorn, this is your year overview for 2019 and into the first month of January 2020. There is one card per month, so it is a quick look at the overall energies of each month. So I have been shuffling for you, but I will continue to do a little bit of shuffling now on the camera. So this is for Capricorn for a year's overview, one card per month starting from February 2019 and going to January 2020. Capricorn. Let's see what we have in store for you guys. Your first card, Capricorn, for February 2019 is the Eight of Wands. Then March is the Three of Swords. Then the Hierophant. Then the Sun. The Wheel of Fortune. The Five of Cups. The Six of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I'm pretty sure you guys can see all of that. It won't all be in focus for the whole lot, but we'll do our best to get it there. So starting for February, we have the Eight of Wands. So it goes February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So Three of Swords, Hierophant, Sun, Wheel of Fortune, Five of Cups, Six of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ace of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and Six of Pentacles. So three major arcanas, these three here, and two aces, which is actually quite unusual to get these aces turning up, so that's really nice for you guys. We'll start off obviously up in the top with February, and it's the Eight of Wands. Now this usually means boom, quick action, bang, bing, bong. It's all on. And it can mean travel. So some of you might be going somewhere in February that is by air travel. It can be quite sudden. Some of you might be traveling over water. Now for some of you this could be for a holiday. For others it could be related to your career or job opportunities or your current career. It can also represent new relationships coming in. Interestingly enough, this card has often been heralded as that. So it is quite often a fast-paced card. It's quick, and it's new. All sorts of excitement and activity. In fact, you guys have got a couple of travel cards because that is known as one and this is also known as one. So this year could be a year where some of you are traveling around, whether it be for holidays or work-related issues or just movement in life generally. If we come to March, we see the Three of Swords, and you know, it's not the nicest card to look at, but we all, throughout the year, for anyone, you are always going to have periods where things are really up and fast-paced and yah, rah, and then you're going to have times where it's like, oh, really? And that's the nature of life. Life is always cyclical. So when you have a good period, often to balance it back up again, we have something a little less, you know, full on or a little less highly exciting or fully happy, and that's the nature of balance in our life. But the Three of Swords represents possibly a sadness, and sometimes for some people it can be a sadness around relationships, and this can sometimes be your romantic relationship. I have seen this card pop up even when things such as a divorce take place or a separation. This can also represent the decommissioning of businesses as such. So it can be making something insolvent, or it can be separating or the selling of a business and partnerships go their own way. There is a little bit of sadness pinged in there, but sometimes it can be mediated with communication, because that's what the sword cards represent. So if you feel this is something that you would really like to try and work through, or to keep it in your life, then the time to work on it is right now in March, and to try and get some sort of mediation or communication going. Oftentimes in life things do break down, especially relationships or businesses, because there's a lack of understanding or communication or common interests in going in a certain direction. So it's about working hard to try and keep it on the ball if you want it. The other thing this can represent is heart issues. So this could be for yourself or someone around you. Make sure you're keeping good, good checks on your heart health, or someone who's close to you. Make sure your diets are right. Get a physical checkup if that's required. So we go next into April, and we have the Hierophant. He's your first major arcana card. He's pretty stoic. He's a little bit like the Capricorn energy, tends to be, fairly happy with rules in life, and kind of does the right thing. So he's not afraid to be not boxed in, but to follow protocol, and he likes it when people do follow the rules. So when he's out, which as I said is April, it would pay to do things right and above board, and if you do, you may go further than you anticipate, especially with things like plans or businesses or signing of documents or opportunities coming your way. He holds up 2 fingers. I sometimes think the number 2 is representative there. He also has these keys down at his feet, which is almost like the promise of something being unlocked. And I often think of that happening if you do the things he expects, which is to be morally appropriate and business-wise, emotion-wise, relationship, everything. So keep April as a month where you sort of, behaving in a really good, positive way, and apply yourself methodically and legally, and I think things will go well for you. He can also, for some of you, represent a slight becoming aware of spiritual concepts and philosophical beliefs. So some of you might feel like this growing within your soul. He might also represent attending something where you have to be in a certain manner, you have to behave in a certain way. So sometimes this is things like the courts of law or government institutions. Some of you may be dealing with high up figures that require your utmost diligence and attention, and like turning up to something and being on time and sitting there saying yes sir, that type of thing. So you might even feel as though you're being withheld a little bit by someone who is higher than you. It could be a boss or a father figure or a religious indoctrination or even a political situation going on. If we come to the 4th month here, which is May, we see the Sun, and the Sun is a magnificent card to have. It's one of the beautiful major arcanas. It's positive, it's about happiness, sometimes new love, because this is a flourishing of 2 young people down here. It can be the birth of something new. It can be a time of fertility, happiness, being watched over, new ideas in particular coming forth, feeling really happy and quite well. It could be a month where you find your overall general health could be either bolstered by something or boosted. So if you've been feeling unwell, or if there were heart issues or something back here, it may be better as it comes into May. There's the possibility of new ventures, new ideas, new concepts, the birth of something. Some of you may either find a pregnancy at this time or give birth to a baby at this time, or the birth of a new idea as well. And that's a really loud plane overhead. So maybe travel is even indicated with that card. We come down to the next one, which is June, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. It's a really big card when it turns up. It is about changes at a big, deep level, and it's beyond your choice or jurisdiction or the way you do it. This is the universe handing out life's journey. It's usually regarded as positive. It starts off slow and it can be a long turning event. So for some of you, this may have already been happening in the background for some months. It may have even started back here and just be slowly weaving its way through and still in action. You know, the Wheel of Fortune can be moving for up to a year in your life in the background, sometimes even longer, because these cycles can be really long-term events. Generally, the card says consider that you're on the upward flow of change, of positivity, of something moving to shift you in a new direction that's positive. And for each and every one of you, this will be different, but it seems as though that month, June, might bode something, you know, that's leading you in a new direction. Gee, it could be a change of career or a change of partnership or an idea that's coming to you that grows and flourishes over the months to come. July, we see the 5 of Cups, and that is often about, well, it's about the emotions, and it's about feeling the heart sort of connection, and sometimes about looking back into the past and wishing things could be different. Now, whether or not it's associated with this one, because they're directly beneath each other, but this guy is sort of focusing on reminiscing a little bit and going back in time. There's a possibility that something that you felt you invested in, you wish hadn't left. Now, this can be a person or a relationship, or it could have been a job or a house you lived in or a pet you had or an idea or a concept. But the message really with this card is to not sit there looking into the past for too long, but to turn around, lift your head and see these two here that represent the wonderful opportunities that are still around you. So instead of focusing on loss or grief or negativity, bring yourself back around and focus on the positives that are in your life and get them to flourish and grow and be active. And as we do that, we come into August and we see that this person has turned from putting his head down and looking into the past to putting his head up and looking into the future, and he is propelling himself across the water. Now, this is a card of travel, so for some of you it can literally mean going over water. Some of you may be going on an overseas trip by boat, or going to another country or a different state by not necessarily by boat, but you're going somewhere possibly, sometimes for a holiday. Other times this can be the sign of a permanent movement for the better. So when this card comes out, it talks to us about the fact that if things have been a bit rough in the past, you are preparing yourself to be ready to move into a calmer, more positive future. So it's the physical card of movement, but it's also the metaphysical, more of the in the mindset and our spiritual journey. So the card talks about moving from turbulent times, whether it's been stress or emotional trauma or feelings of loss or grief or sadness, into a more positive set of energies such as determination, calm, peacefulness, seeking to find the new way forward, looking into the future, not the past. So it is a really great card. Even though it seems grey to look at, it offers good opportunities. We come to the next one, which is September here, and we see the 9 of Swords. So we've got a couple of sword cards, sort of coming through here together. And the 9 of Swords is often a card of feeling a wee bit of anxiety and tension. Now, when we are propelling ourselves into new directions, such as that one, we can then feel a little bit of anxiety because we ponder, have we made the right choice? Have we gone to the right place? Are we taking the right people? Should I have done this? And often when we change things up, we get this feeling of disconnection or not being grounded enough and not having our stability and our little things around us that make us feel safe. So this card can often represent that. And the best way of dealing with that is to, use things like mindfulness and meditation and allowing positivity and the thoughts of positive outcomes to come into your mind. This can also represent insomnia, So problems at night with lack of sleep. It can represent feeling tied up, as if you can't make the right decision around something. So for some of you, you know, the card is going to represent different perspectives. So some of you might feel that you're being held captive, that you can't break free, that you want to make a different decision or you want to make a different move, but it's not all happening. Could be tied up to this guy up here too, and back to this month. So this is about feeling the fear and doing it anyhow, about knowing that you have the inner resolve and the inner logic and the calm and the strength to get through situations like that. So don't give up and don't let the negative emotions take hold, because as you come down here into October, you've got the Ace of Cups. This is truly one of the most beautiful of all the cards in the deck. It is the card of love from above, from your spirit helpers, from your celestial helpers, from your higher self. This is the love of new beginnings, new romance, the love of partners who you share this amazing spiritual togetherness. This is the card of the concept of new wonderful ideas that are given to you from afar. You know, this is new beginnings. This could be the birth of something. So we've talked about this a couple of times. Maybe conceptions, birth, or new conceptions again, more fertility. The Ace of Cups holds the promise of so much, and it holds the promise at a very celestial cosmos type energy. It is grand and beautiful, and it deals with the emotions in our hearts and love and tenderness and warmth and all sorts of things. So again, it's a great card to receive. The next one here is the Three of Pentacles, and this is coming into November. So this is sometimes an accolade or an award that is coming your way. Possibly it could be the end of exams. Some of you may be finishing a degree. You might be at work and you are being recognized, or there is possibly a pay rise coming or a promotion. There could be something public. You might be accepted into a public forum for an invention or an idea or a concept or your hard work. Sometimes 3 people are involved, so it might have been a team project, and it is generally considered very favourable, both in terms of career aspirations and your finances and your name and your honour. So it's a really good card. You know, this road down here, as you finish off the year, there's so much positivity and there's so much kind of like feeling of connection to something bigger than just yourself. There's a cosmos energy wrapping you up in like gossamer silk down in this bottom row. It's a wonderful end to the year and beginning to the new year. So we come to December and you have another ace, so your second ace. This ace harks with it a little bit more of a stick it up your jacksy type feeling, and it's clustered in with all these swords. So I do feel as though you come out of whatever it is over here that's bothering you, and that this journey you took here feels confidently successful by the time it gets through to here. That Ace of Swords is the winning card after much effort and sometimes trial and tribulation. And things like, we can often see with this can be when a business is finished and you've got the documents back and it's been signed off and sold. So say you wanted to sell a business with a partner that was involved. This could be the time it's sold and the money comes through. Sometimes this is when the divorce papers come through, so it could have been like a separation up here that you might not have wanted, but down here it's all falling into place and it's working its way through. It's either a successful merging or a successful dissolution. So the Ace of Swords is definitely about new beginnings, but something is given away at the cost of this new beginning. So you'll give something away, something will be lost or let go of, I think is the perhaps terminology. or phrase, but it's a success because it leads you into freedom to begin this new journey or new chapter of where you're headed. So it's a great way for you guys to finish the year. If you had been waiting for something to happen through the year, it's coming in these last few months. We can see the whole pattern forming. As you move into January of 2020 and we see the Six of Pentacles, this is a great card of the cycle of life, and we talked about that at the very beginning for you guys, saying that there is always a cyclical pattern. So the Six of Pentacles is a very benevolent, positive card, and it does often represent with your finances. So this talks about either being in a state of giving or receiving, and whichever way it is, it's positive. If you are able to give to someone, you are financially or emotionally or spiritually in a happy place that you can do this. If you are receiving, you are being loved enough by someone to give you this, to gift it to you, or someone holds you in high enough regard or respect. This card can indicate applying for a loan or a mortgage, for instance, and being approved. It can also be gifted money. It can be a windfall, like a small dividend or payout, or like a lotto win. So there you are, Capricorn. That's your 12-month forecast from February of 2019, taking you up to January 2020. Hey, thank you for joining me. You might want to come back and check this during the year to see how each month is panning out. And remember, I do put up monthly readings that are far more in depth, and of course I use different cards and different layouts as well. So thanks for tuning in and for leaving your comments, subbing the channel and pushing the notification button so that you get the notification of when I upload videos, because often it's really hard to find them. Thanks guys, have a wonderful, happy, prosperous year ahead. Much love, namaste.